there's been some books written of deprogramming, or they call it like exit counselors. I like exit counselors better than deprogrammer, right? Sounds better, yeah. I like better yet. I like I call it deculting. But anyway, I'll go into it and see what you guys think about it. All right. Now, in order to culturate someone, so you got to find out how to take this thing apart. See, because you're going to run into these guys. How do I take it apart as a practitioner, or just as a person? Because I'm sitting here having to listen to this person talk about Jesus or something. You have to understand it. So I'm going to give you some understanding of it. The first thing in any sort of mind control or culturation happens is that the first thing that happens that there's a shift in their belief. They have to shift their belief. See, if they're Christians and they're talking, and a Muslim's talking to them, he has to somehow shift that belief out of Christianity. See, and there's lots of ways to do it. And the next thing you have to change, and I'll go through each one of these. The next thing that is changed to create acculturation is behavior. Okay. Now, I'm talking to you about this, and it's going to make sense to you as I say it. It should. The next thing that the people change to create culturation is thinking. So let's get back to the high school thing, right? The high school thing is like, okay, you're a first grader. And you go, I am? Yeah, you're a first grader. So they give you a belief, that you have to go to school. See? In other words, to learn. Otherwise, you're not going to learn. That's a belief system. So you got a belief, behavior, and then your thinking. Shift your thinking. I'll go through each one of these. And the next thing is your emotions, and then a belief in a following the direction of the leader, some charismatic type person. And a good cultist knows these things, and they do it systematically, one step at a time. And first they do it with bringing in friends, or they have a cult member bring in their friends or relatives, right? Or they have events for the public, like we're having today, except I'm not culturating you today. I'm deculturating you, hopefully. Because we all have some sort of culturation that occurred in our lives, either in high school or in our churches or church Scientology, maybe. Okay, like this culturation is not a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing, because you have to learn to get along with people around you. If you wind up next lifetime in some village, you better find out what the culture is. You better find out that you should take off your shoes before you go in the house. Otherwise, you might get thrown out of the village. See? So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It only becomes bad if your self-determinism is taken away. If your own mind is taken away. We're getting back to the rights of a being, right? Remember, what are the 5 rights of the being?
The freedom to leave a game.
The freedom to leave a game.
The right to your own choice, freedom of your own sanity, and your own freedom of choice.
Your own sanity, your own freedom of choice. You're good.
And the right to make a new game or choose a new game to play or not.
Right to choose a new game or not. Yeah.
And let's see, right to your own sanity, right to leave a game, right to self-determination. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So you have like these inalienable rights as a being. And when someone starts to take those away from you systematically, you better watch it. You better not let it happen. And you better be aware of it. Because there are people in the free zone and independent field that will do just that. Let alone organize churches and things and things like that. What about political groups? They tend to do that too, don't they? They keep giving you the same thing on the television. Same belief, same belief. No facts, just sort of opinion. And Ellery tells us that opinion and facts are two different things. Look at the facts. Ellery says, do not listen. Look. When people look at those bad websites that Church Scientology, Office of Special Affairs, puts out on me, they call me on the phone, and I said, well, what you should do is not listen to that. What you should do is come and look. Come and look at me. Come and look at what I'm doing. Come and look at some of my pre-clears. Come and look at some people that we're doing this stuff with. Come and look at where I live. What am I doing? What am I doing there when I do that? I'm deculturating them. I'm deprogramming them. I'm brainwashing them. See? Because, like, especially on the internet, those chat rooms, it's all opinion, you know, and some facts, but, you know, I understand your oh, okay, all right. All right, why don't you do that, and I'll write something on the board here.
We shall make you know. He's excellent.
Yeah, right. Am I good so far?
Yeah, I'll buy it.
Okay, you picking me up there? Very good. All right, so the first thing, and I'll show you how to undo this with people. And you can do it having coffee with them. You can do it. It's like boom, boom. Depends how good your comm cycle is. Depends how good an auditor you are. But you can do this if you're sharp enough. Or you can bring them in and spend a day with the guy. But anyway, it could be done, because I've done it. Okay, the first step in culturating somebody, and I'll show you how to culturate them and deculturate them. It's not fair. See, I always give my people a choice, you know. Remember in the Matrix, they had a blue pill and a red pill? Yeah. Remember that in the Matrix? If you get the blue pill, you forget about what I said and you just walk out of here. All right? The red pill, you can't turn back. Because once you got rid of a veil, you know, it's hard to pull it back, you know. Okay, the first step is belief. And this is the first step you got to do to culturate somebody. It's the first thing that was done to you, that you got to go to school in order to learn. Well, we know that's not true because you can be taught at home, right? A lot of self-taught people, right? Or you have to take the class with RTC before you could be a la-da-da. How many self-taught auditors are here? Not too many? One, two, okay. Right. So it's a belief, isn't it? It's a belief that you got to do or not do something. How do you get rid of that belief? Anybody have an example? You got to get rid of somebody's belief? Come on, I'm going to make you think. We're going to work here. What?
Well,
I'm not going to let you fall asleep on me. What? Say you got a belief from somebody, like you got to go to school in order to learn. You can't learn at home, whatever. How do you get rid of that belief? See, how do you get out with someone?
False data stripping.
False data stripping. Very good.
Give them one example where that belief wasn't true. I mean, just one shakes their whole concept.
Just one. You got one?
I will give two examples on how it is true, how it is not.
Yeah, very good. How it is true, how it isn't true. So they have comparables. That's a very excellent way to do it. Very good. See, we're learning something, right? What? That's right. That's right. Okay, not too many here. Not too many because we got to go on. One more. What?
Well, let them know that they have more than one choice also.
Yeah, same thing. They let them know. They give them a choice. So what you're doing there is returning them to their self-determinism, aren't you? See? So you can get a guy to look at your belief system and even agree to it, but you're doing it at a cause level. You're letting him be cause. You're not saying, look, you got to believe this or you're going to die. You're going to die in hell or whatever. See? Or we're going to go to ethics. You don't believe this.
Kind of like him.
Right? Same thing, right?